Welcome to the Savvy Radio Show with your host, the Savvy Landlord. Up next is the best deal ever. On Fridays, check out all episodes on SavvyRadioShow.com.
All right, Savvy investors, it is Friday, fabulous, and we're going to cover a deal today. We have a published author on today. His name is Mike O'Deal. He's only been killing it for about 3 years. Got a book out just about a month or so. If you haven't had a chance to pick up the book, it's called Landlord Away, Student Loan Debt. All right, Mike, tell me about a deal that you have.
So it was about 2 years ago. I was watching my MLS feed. I had some money ready for my credit line, and I had a house on the street over on the east side, and I saw one pop up that was just up the street. It was listed as already rented for $500 a month. They wanted $25,000 for it. I drove over to it. Looked good as a brick house, 2-bed, 1-bath, about 1,000 square feet, nice lot, fenced backyard. So I got there early, and the tenant let me in, and she showed me around. And
that's a great.
Yeah.
And I love that when I get face to face before I buy it.
A tenant will tell you if they don't like anything about it. That's for sure. And she said,
or they dog the landlord. That's even better.
Yeah. So she shows me around, and I liked it, and so I didn't want to play around. I was like, I could try and save a little money, but I mean, for $25,000 for something that's already going to cash flow, I'm not going to play around. I'm just going to make a $25,000 cash offer, asking price.
And this was on the MLS.
Yeah.
Cool. What was the realtor? Was it Corbin?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's cool. Keep going. Anyway, so you made the 25.
They could only show it on Saturday, so I got there first on Saturday.
Okay, so you put a full price offer in cash, and they accepted at $25,000.
Yeah. So then at closing, I'm sitting there, and it's a couple, and the wife is you could tell she's the landlord out of the two of them, and the husband.
I guess type A.
Yeah, the husband was the worker guy, and he didn't want to do it. So she wanted to buy these houses. She wanted them fixed up, and she made him go do all the work, and he was over it, man. He wanted to start up a concrete pumping business, and he needed some money for it. So when she went back to sign documents, he came over to me. He's like, "Hey, man, we got another house."
Really?
And I don't really want to sell it through a realtor or nothing. And it's way better than the one you just bought. We want $30,000 for it. It's rented Section 8 for $750 a month.
Dang.
And here's my card. Or he just wrote his number on a piece of paper. I was like, okay, thank you, because I still had money left on my credit line. I could buy it right then.
Cool.
So
you went back and checked it out?
Yeah, I drove by it, and this is not brick house again. I love brick. It stops bullets. And you don't have to
oh man,
patch it. Well,
you're killing me.
Well.
I got an episode coming up that I've been working on, how to rent in the war zone.
Okay.
I have that episode. I've been writing it for a couple of days, but it's so funny. I'm going to put that in there. I buy brick because it stops bullets.
Well,
anyway, that's going to be the title.
It's like a tube of caulk if you get a house that's all shot up, making them holes back.
I just replaced a window that was shot up. So that's what kind of houses I own, folks. Anyway, so you called him back, then what?
Called him back. He had to work her over for a month or so, but she finally caved because I'm done. He put the ultimatum in, and so her real estate dreams were shot, but mine were great.
Yeah.
Picked up that house, signed it over Section 8 to me.
I love those. Money starts flowing in the next day.
Oh, yeah.
Section 8 changeovers are pretty simple.
There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
I couldn't change the lease, but I mean, it was harsher than mine, so I just kept it.
$700 a month.
$750
on a $30,000 asset. That's like 2.1%, 2.2% return. Those are huge numbers, my friend.
I had a business card magnet. I slapped it on the fridge. Has my phone number and P.O. box to mail the rent to, her portion, which wasn't very much. And I was like, give me a call if anything's wrong. And
how long have you had this one?
I bought it summer of 2014. So
wow. So
year and a half.
That's awesome.
I've had it turn over. I had to put another tenant in it.
Section 8?
Yeah. But
what's your turnaround time on Section 8? How long is usually to get someone in and get someone out?
Oh, it's just a couple of weeks to get someone in, but then it's about a month before you get it inspected. And it's probably a bad policy, but just being so small time like me, I let my tenants move in before the inspection because then I don't have to deal with paying the utilities or have to deal with an empty house on a part of town that might get broken into and torn up. So I sleep better.
I've considered it.
I don't
It just depends on the tenant, but I've considered it's been both ways for me. I've gotten hammered on that, where I let a gal move in, and sometimes I don't.
I had one call me up, and before Section 8 had finished, she was like, Mr. Mike, I need you to change the locks on my door. And she had been in there for a few weeks. And I was like, what? And she said, something terrible happened. I got stabbed 7 times. And I said, in the house? She said, no, at the park. And I was like, oh, thank God, that's a new carpet.
Oh, my God. All right, folks, this is the war zone. Anyway, that's still a good deal. $750 on a $30,000 investment just by having your money ready, being prepared, and willing to take a risk. All right, Mike, thanks for back on the show. All right, investors out there, if you have a deal you want to let me know about, I'd love to have it on the show. Go to SavvyRadioShow.com, click on the voicemail button, drop it in there, and I'll call you and set it up. Have a great day, and whatever you do, buy assets.
Hey, everybody out there in Savvy Land. This is Mike Odell. Now, before you go thinking I'm a terrible person regarding that tenant I had that was stabbed 7 times, here's the story surrounding that. I knew she was on drugs. After she moved in, I could tell she had big personality swings, and I was worried about her. I knew something crazy was going to happen with this woman. And so when this did happen, the day after she called me and told me that she had been hurt, I went and I saw her in the hospital, and I brought her some books to read, and we had a big, long conversation. She actually said that event was a turning point in her life, that the bad girl died at the park, and that she was just going to be on the straight and narrow from that point forward. And I told her I really hope that was the case. I told her I was worried about her, and I told her that I still am worried about her. And I hope things do go well for her from this point forward. So I'm not an animal. I'm the best landlord in the freaking world. Rock on.
Investor Weekend is not far off, with over 10 information sessions to increase your portfolio. Log on to www.investorweekend.com. Whether you are a seasoned investor or never purchased a property before, you don't want to miss the Investor Weekend. Join us for a powerful, knowledge-packed weekend with over 10 informational sessions that are bound to enlarge your real estate investments. You will hear from the best national and local real estate investors that will share practical and relevant experiences with you, the investor. There will be several networking sessions to connect with other like-minded people for potential funding, partnerships, and yes, hot deals. Go to www.investorweekend.com. Did you know we meet once a month for the Landlord Lunch meeting? The third Wednesday of every month. Go to landlordlunch.com.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at SavvyRadioShow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.